Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Now, My Little Pony was a movie that released this October, not next October, not October 2016, this October of 2017, and is based on the television series My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Now, I know I'm a little late to the party, but I have now watched this movie to the end a total of 6 times now. And so I think it's finally time that I delve into this movie on the channel. And now that I've watched it 6 times, I can see its flaws, and I got like an open mind of this movie. So let's dive in to My Little Pony the movie. Now, as stated before, My Little Pony the movie is a movie based on the television series My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and it is not the first movie to hold this title. Back in '89, we had a movie called, as you would guess, My Little Pony the movie, and we're of course talking about the 2017 version, just to clarify. And spoiler alert, there are going to be some major spoilers in this review. Now that 2D animation is becoming mainstream in theatrical releases since the second SpongeBob movie, and all the cartoon-based movies are coming back, My Little Pony the movie is the second movie since the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water to be in a wide theatrical release, 2D animation-wise. And how does it hold up? We're gonna dive into this in 5 sections: animation, comedy, music, voice acting, and the story. It's a little change in the formula of reviews on World of Meli, but let's do it, starting with animation. Now, compared to other 2D animated films, My Little Pony the movie's animation is nothing special. However, compared to 2D animations of the 2010s, My Little Pony the movie is great, and even without a comparison, My Little Pony the movie's animation is absolutely stunning. The CGI backgrounds, while they don't mesh together well with the 2D characters, they still are outstanding. There are so many small details in the animation. For example, there are bubbles in the water every time the ponies move when they're in their mermaid forms. There's wind gushing in their hair. They have detail on their hairs now. Their little trots feel like lifelike now. And My Little Pony the movie uses the same animators as the TV series Friendship is Magic, only instead of using Adobe Flash, or Adobe Animate is what they call it now, they are using Toonblue Harmony, specifically Harmony 15. However, there are some problems using the new animation software, as well as going for some lifelike movement. This leads to slow movement, and many times throughout the movie you can tell that it is very slow. For example, there is a scene where the main 6 as well as Spike are running from a windmill type device, and you can tell it's very slow. And there are points in the movie where the animation needs to be faster. And as stated before, the 2D characters don't mesh well with their 3D backgrounds, and some animated moments, like at the end where Twilight Sparkle is saving Tempest from going off a cliff into a tornado, the animation feels off a little when the character design and the coloring, especially in the colorings of Tempest's face. But what can you do? Other than those cons, the animation is absolutely beautiful. So with this movie's unique animation style, it clearly holds up very well, especially in the 2010s, where there's not many 2D animations in wide release in theaters in the US. As the last 2D animation before this was the second SpongeBob movie, and while that animation is really beautiful in the 2D side, it doesn't even compare to this movie, My Little Pony the movie, as it is great animation, the backgrounds are freaking gorgeous, and the animation is very fluid. However, those cons I just mentioned do hold it back a little. However, let's move on to the comedy. How does the comedy in this golden movie hold up?
Wow! Every pony from Manhattan to Saddle Arabia is here!
I know, Philly. We almost couldn't book a stable.
Welcome, my little ponies. What tricks do you know, my little pony-wony?
ponies how it's done.
No. No.
Actually, that's not my real name. It's Fizzle Pop Berry Twist.
No! Okay, in all seriousness, the comedy in this movie is unique, to say the words. But with the abundance of title jokes, and horse puns, the comedy kind of falls flat in this movie. But comedy isn't really My Little Pony's main strength. But there are some great moments. Like, there were some moments where Pinkie Pie goes ballistic, especially in the final fight scene. Like, all the comedy happens in the third and second act, but the first act is kind of lackluster when it comes to its comedy. What can you do? It's comedy. But now that we have that comedy covered, let's move on to my favorite part. The music. The orchestrated music is appropriate, and holy shit is it epic! As someone in band, this soundtrack is godlike. The low brass, the violins, the cellos, the pianos, the woodwinds, like, holy shit is it fucking amazing, especially in the fight scenes, the songs, like the songs with the orchestrated backgrounds, the chase scenes. Oh my god, seriously, it's amazing, and it's always on point. There is nothing wrong with the orchestrated music. But I think we all know what we truly mean when we mean music. We don't mean something for a geek who's in band. We mean the actual lyrical songs in this movie, because this movie is technically a semi-musical, as some if not most of its story progression is done through song, but it's not as much as like a Disney movie or something like that. It's a semi-musical. It has songs, and let's go through them, each and every one of them, which in a segment I like to call Millie's Musical Hour, even though we're doing this in less than a minute. So here we go. Opening titles / Ponies Got the Beat. Okay, this is counted as one song for some reason, so. Anyway, opening titles is great with the My Little Pony theme at the end. However, Ponies Got the Beat is absolutely hands down the worst part of this entire movie, as a pony-fied pop song doesn't really feel right with all the other great original songs. And I guess the soundtrack agrees with me, as it is the only song that appeared in this movie that's not on the official soundtrack. Also, all the horse puns that were only added in this movie, and this movie alone and not in Friendship is Magic, appear in this section, and it just feels out of place. We got this together. If you don't count the previous song as an actual song in the movie, this is a great opening song. It explains the characters' personalities and motivations in one song, which is something that all movies based on cartoons require. It is not an accessory, it's a necessity. As some viewers may have never seen the show and need backup, but not in the form of, well, literally nothing, or in the form of literally just the intro from the show. Anyway, great song, and also the only song where Twilight Sparkle, Applejack, Rarity, Spike, and Fluttershy sing some parts of the melody. I'm the Friend You Need, definitely a great song. This guest stars in this movie really nailed it with their songs, and this is no exception, considering almost all the songs aren't sung by the main characters, but the guest stars, they kind of have to be. Tay Diggs' sly nature and mischievous attitude in this song completely fits Casper's character, and his singing voice is so smooth. Great song. Time to Be Awesome. Yeah, I'm just gonna let Cell Specs do this one for me.
You're slaves to the Storm King. Hey, what if you just weren't slaves anymore? What? We didn't think of that. What possible consequences could there be for this?
It's a great song, don't get me wrong, but it honestly feels like a carbon copy of We Got This Together, and with its friendship is great, we are in this together message. One small thing. Oh my god, this is the best song of this entire movie. The trumpets, the upbeat backup vocals and tunes, and Pinkie Pie and Sky Star singing, and just... Jesus, this song is so fucking good! Easily the best song in the movie, hands down, and if you haven't heard it, listen to it. The animation also really shines in this piece, particularly, and the song is clearly a love ballad between Pinkie Pie and Sky Star. Open Up Your Eyes, definitely the orchestra's greatest movement in the movie here. The backup is so fucking great with the trombones and the baritones, or euphoniums if you're weird, and Tempest's vocals are astonishing, and the context behind the song are actually quite sad. Rainbow, great song by Sia, and it really gives the vibes of a sad rainy day being cleared by the sun and a rainbow. Very nice. And finally, we're off to see the world. Great end credit song. You can tell I like this song as I used it in my 5th anniversary special, and it's very upbeat and adventurous. The songs in My Little Pony the movie are definitely a highlight of the whole movie in general, and I definitely highly recommend that you give them a listen, even though some songs more than others are less high quality. I'm looking at you, Pony's got the beats. With the music done, let's move on to voice acting. The voice acting is definitely a plus. The actors and actresses definitely give it their all, and the guest stars are actually acting instead of just talking. Even though I hate how the main characters' voice actors aren't recognized in the promos and posters just because of the guest stars. As said before, Taye Diggs as Capper is the best in this movie. Emily Blunt as Tempest nails every scene she's in. Uzo Aduba as Novo and Kristen Chenoweth as Skystar are also pretty great. Liev Schreiber, I'm sorry if I butcher that name, as the Storm King fits the character very well and is very energetic. Sia as Songbird Serenade is, well, literally just Sia. That's a little downgrade, I guess. And Michael from Big Time Rush's Grubber is, well, he's the Olaf of this film. And the main characters, Twilight, Spike, Rainbow Dash, Applejack, you know, the main 6, Rarity and Fluttershy and all them, their voice actors really shine in this movie as well, considering they're the main characters, they have to. But considering that this movie primarily focuses on the guest stars, what can you do? And the voice actors do a great job of their characters, and this is probably, I've only seen seasons 1 and 2 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and we're gonna get on that soon, but, their voice actors, compared to seasons 1 and 2, from what I've seen, and I've seen some of the later episodes, the voice actors and actresses really shine in this movie more than in the TV show. And if you can get Tara Strong a job, I'm as long as it gives Tara Strong work, I'm fine with it. I'm happy for Unikitty just because of that sole reason. And finally, let's move on to the story. The story of My Little Pony the movie is actually really enticing and original, especially for a movie based off of a cartoon. Like, up to this point, I have not seen anything like it. The story has great suspense and surprising moments, and even moments that I didn't even expect, because it's usually a stereotype with cartoon-based movies to be extremely predictable, but My Little Pony isn't that predictable at all, except for at some points. There are even some truly heartbreaking moments that tugged at my feelings a little, and most of the main characters from the show got to play a role in this movie. And by most of the characters, I only mean 4 of them. Because you see, out of the main 6 plus Spike, only Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, and maybe Rarity got to play a role in this movie, where Applejack and Fluttershy did nothing. Even though Applejack is kind of a comedic relief in this movie, as she has amazing one-liners and jokes, meaning Fluttershy really did get to do nothing. And as mentioned before, the pirate scene is just really flawed overall, and it's really predictable on what happens in that, and that's probably the only predictable moment in the show. Another complaint I have with the story and the overall movie as a whole is the opening, and the opening I feel is the most weakest part of the entire film. I mean, overall the opening could have been done better, and they could have used their characters a little bit more. And instead of focusing on all the guest stars, you know what I mean. But, of course, as it is a cartoon-based movie, this movie's story is most likely going to be self-contained, as with other cartoon movies where it's never once going to be mentioned in the show's universe at all. So, if the movie's going to focus on the guest stars, then go ahead, because you're most likely never going to see them again. But overall, great story. So overall, My Little Pony the movie, while it is one of the only cartoon-based movies of the 2010s, it still has its flaws, and it still has its, like, predictable moments, but overall, it is a good movie. But compared to other cartoon movies that came before it, such as the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, the Rugrats movie, the second one, not the first one or the third one, and even some upcoming ones that we can predict, and even some more recent ones like Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie. Compared to those, it is pretty lackluster, but on its own, it stands as a great movie. So overall, I give My Little Pony the movie a 7 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, take care.
The pain as it hit the ground, I can see a rainbow in your tears as the sun comes out, as the sun comes out.